So you've just finished your fat loss phase, you're lean, you feel good, and you're finally happy with how you look. But 3 weeks later, you feel soft, fluffy, and those abs that you worked so hard to get are fading fast. I know exactly how this feels because I've been there myself. This was me at the end of my first ever cut, and this was me just a few months later. Fat fuck. And this happens to a lot of guys when they finish their dieting phases. And it happens because they make one critical mistake. They never reverse dieted. Now in this video, I'm gonna break down why the quick weight gain happens if you're not careful post-cut, and essentially how to avoid it and how to successfully reverse diet post-cut so you can make sure that you essentially maintain your results and the physique that you've worked so hard to build. So part one of this video is going to be all about why you gain fat so easily after a cut. So essentially, when you're deep into a fat loss phase, your metabolism adapts. Your calories are low, your training is intense, your hunger is high, and your hormones such as ghrelin and leptin shift. The body essentially becomes more efficient at surviving on fewer calories. And cut a long story short, your metabolic rate is slower than when you first initially started your cutting phase. And often, once the diet ends, so many guys just immediately bump their calories up. And they often bump them up way beyond what their new maintenance calories actually are. Combine that with fewer steps, more meals out, weekend binges, and a mindset of, I've finally done it. And it's essentially a recipe for fat gain. The reality is your body is primed to put on weight post-cut. It's trying to restore balance and protect itself from perceived starvation. And if you don't have a proper structure and plan in place, you'll rebound to exactly how you were pre-cut and fast. So let's move it on into part two of the video, and that is essentially what is reverse dieting. So in short, reverse dieting is basically slowly increasing your calories post a cutting phase so that your metabolism can adapt along with the extra calories without piling fat back on. It's exactly how you rebuild energy, improve your performance in the gym, bring your hormones back to baseline, and maintain a lean look as you transition into either a maintenance phase or a lean gaining phase. And here's what most people don't actually realize is that when you've got really, really lean, you're actually in a prime position to pack on muscle if you reverse diet correctly. And this is because your body becomes more insulin sensitive.
Yes, science!
Meaning it's better at utilizing nutrients for muscle gain over fat storage. If you increase your calories gradually and make sure you train hard, you can put on a quality amount of muscle whilst keeping fat gain minimal. Reverse dieting isn't just damage control, it's a strategy for growth. So how do you reverse diet correctly? Step one, find your new maintenance calories. You can literally use a calorie calculator for this online. Now don't take these calories as gospel, as you will need to monitor how you feel and how you look and how you weigh in over the next coming weeks and make adjustments from there. But it's going to give you a pretty good idea of what your maintenance calories are sitting at. Step two is make sure that post-cut you bump up your calories slowly. We're talking anywhere between 50 to 150 calories per week. And not every week will you actually increase your calories. Slow and steady wins the race here whilst you make sure you're monitoring how you look, feel, and weigh. And I know I just said that, and I'm repeating myself, but it's really important that we monitor those things. Step three, stay consistent with your training and your steps. So many people, when they come out of a cutting phase, continue lifting weights, but then they just stop with their steps. This is a recipe for disaster because we want to make sure that your output stays high as we slowly bump up your calories to keep fat gain to a minimum. Step four, if your weight holds and plateaus for 1 to 2 weeks, then bump your calories up again by 50 to 150 calories, depending on how things are going. It very much does vary from person to person how much you push food in a reverse dieting phase. That's why it's really important to monitor how you're feeling and how you're looking. And step five, repeat the process of adding calories weekly or bi-weekly, depending on how things are going, until you reach those maintenance calories that you figured out in step one. Now, once you hit those maintenance calories that you figured out in step one, make sure that you continue to track your weight over the next few weeks. If your weight stabilizes, then you know that you're eating at maintenance. However, if it's still dropping off, then you know that you need to bump your calories up a touch to reach maintenance still. Or if your weight is continuing to creep up, you know you've gone just slightly above maintenance. Make sure that even though you've hit those perceived maintenance calories that you worked out in step one, you still track things just to confirm that those are actually your maintenance calories and the calorie calculator was correct. Once you get to maintenance, you can then decide whether or not you want to just maintain the physique and the weight that you've achieved, or you want to push yourself into a lean gaining phase. And a bonus step is make sure that you still keep your protein intake high. You still want to aim for around 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight to make sure that you're able to support the growth and repair of your muscles, as well as help you stay fuller for longer. Because believe me, after a cutting phase, you're gonna wanna raid the cupboard still. Even though your calories will be bumping up, if anything, you're gonna get even more of an appetite. So make sure that your protein is staying high so we can make sure we manage that appetite. This reverse dieting approach gives your body a chance to adapt without rebounding and packing on all the fat that you lost initially. You'll fill out, you'll look better, and you'll feel stronger, but without the additional fluff. So in short, that's exactly how I would approach a reverse dieting phase and exactly how I approach it myself and with my clients. Reverse dieting separates the lads who stay lean all year round or who yo-yo with their weight and their body fat percentage all year round. Pick which path you want to go down. If you've just finished the cut and you want to maintain the physique that you've worked so hard to achieve in the first place, then follow the steps I just outlined. If not, hit the fuck it button and put on all that body fat again, and then be in a position whereby you have to go through another cutting phase. And if you did enjoy this video and you found it helpful, then make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I really, really appreciate it, and drop the video a like. I'm currently going through my own cutting phase and I will be documenting that, as well as how I personally approach my own reverse dieting phase after, and you'll be able to see me implement everything I've spoken about throughout this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.